My name is Jill Berlin, and I'm from Seattle, Washington. I am 57 years old. I came out here a number of months ago. I have a couple manufacturing plants here in Tijuana, and I stay at the Marriott when I plan on staying more than 1 or 2 evenings. That way I don't have to deal with the boarder coming back the following morning. And I came into the Marriott hotel and I was checking in and I noticed all kinds of people with hospital bracelets on. And I had a coworker that had joined me and wasn't feeling well, and I said, well, go on upstairs. I'm gonna find out what's going on in this hotel. So I started buzzing around. I talked to the people at the front desk and met I have to tell you, probably about 50 beautiful young women and older women that were out here for surgeries. I would have never thought in a million years I would have plastic surgery in Tijuana, Mexico. After talking to numerous people and what hospitals, and there's a couple different hospitals, but I ended up going with CER Hospital. The fact that I met a woman that worked in ICU in a hospital in Texas, and everything that she had been through and the amount of money it was going to cost her, and she had made the decision to go with CER, and she had sent a number of different friends and acquaintances to have surgeries, and that's why I decided to come with CER. Is they had a lot of positive information. So when I left here and went back to Seattle, I was telling my husband, you know, I'm going to look into it, because I had gone into Seattle for a consultation. I wanted to get a breast reduction and a lift, and I went into Seattle, and I had the saline implants already in, and I wanted to switch the implants into a silicone implant. Now that it was back, you were allowed. The FDA had lifted that restriction. So I had gone into a surgeon in downtown Seattle where I live, and I was quoted $29,000 to have the implant removed, the lift, reconstruction, and a saline or a silicone implant replacing it. So I had that cost, and talked to CER, talked to Cassandra, which is absolutely wonderful. They asked for photographs. So the only thing I really had to do was I sent in a photograph of the front side of me, the side profile of me, in my back. I don't know, within 3 hours I had a quote letting me know what the cost would be. And I was a little nervous. I had never been to the hospital there before, and everything was through email and not very many even phone conversations. So which was very convenient for me, because Dr. Suarez banks with Wells Fargo, as I do. So you need to put a deposit in, you know, to set your surgery date. So what I did is I went ahead and just transferred from my Wells Fargo account into Dr. Suarez's. So it made it very, very easy, where I didn't even have to go to the bank or send in deposits. So I made my deposit, and I went ahead and set my surgery, and it was April of 2018, and came down, and very, very nervous. And of course my husband came with me, and I was very nervous, and I'm very nosy. And it's almost comical of, you fly into the San Diego airport and they have drivers that pick you up, and they take you to the hotel. Following morning, the Marriott or whatever hotel you decide to go with, there's a number of hotels that you have to choose from, and they take you on to the clinic for your surgery. Very, very skeptical, very, very nervous, and headed over there. And the nice thing is you can bring a partner, a friend with you, and they spend the night with you, which is very strange, because I've had some liposuction done, I want to say maybe 20 years ago. Get rid of that muffin top that I had after 4 children. And you're in and out of there within a couple hours. Very, very interesting. And I do work in the medical field. I'm in medical sales. I'm a director for our manufacturing with different products. And I go in there, and I'm the first one in line, and they're checking me in, and Cassandra comes down to greet me. She's there first thing in the morning, ready to greet you, get you going, get you checked in. And all of a sudden I kind of looked out front of the clinic, and there's like these 2 white vans that pulled up. I am not kidding. It was probably about 30 women with their pillows in hand and their partners with them. Every single one of them brought a girlfriend or a sister. I'm the only one that brought her husband with her. And they came in and we're all chatting, and my husband's like standing away to the side, and he's just like shaking his head. He's like, only my wife Jill will be in the center of that and asking everybody, what are you doing? What are you doing? So anyways, I am brought up to, I believe I was brought up to the 2nd floor, and being of my age, over 50, they like you to get an EKG before surgery. And I did do that, and when I came in, they went ahead and ran an EKG on me. They did a blood test on me. They had a physician in there that checked me out, my temperature, my air, my oxygen levels. Everything was good to go. You know, I'm a bruiser, so even like with IVs and needles, I get the worst bruises, and everything was so pleasant. And so what I ended up doing is went ahead and I had the surgery, but before, Dr. Suarez came in, and he was, first time I had met him, very nice looking gentleman, very, very professional. He came in, and I said to him, I was in for the breast reduction. That was it, in the lift and the implants. Well, I kind of have this baby belly going on. So I asked Dr. Suarez, I go, do you think maybe we can do a little bit of liposuction in this area here? And he looks at me, goes, well, you got a few things going on here. He said, you've got a lot of skin going on, and you've got a lot of fat. And I just kind of looked at him, and I said, well, what would your recommendation be? And he said, a tummy tuck. And I said, how much is that tummy tuck? Well, the price was so reasonable. I said, let's go with the tummy tuck too. So I came in for a breast reduction, a lift and implants, and came out with a tummy tuck and new boobies. I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely a lot of recovery, but spent the night there. They had the stockings on for blood clots. They were circulating my blood for blood clots. They had me all cleaned up. I was in a bed. They had dinner served to me, all the juice, and just so loving and so warm, in an immaculate clinic. It looks more like a spa, beautiful high-end spa than any clinic or hospital. The nice thing I like about it is it's small, and they're very restricted of who comes in and out. So very, very clean and sterile. So after that, Dr. Suarez I was getting ready to go back to the airport a few days later, and Dr. Suarez says, you know, Jill, we pulled out some skin and fat from up in the top area of you, and you're still going to have some fat around there. I want you to go home and recuperate for a couple months, and I'd like you to come back, and we'll do some liposuction to kind of clean up around your sides and down in your lower abdomen. And I said, sounds good. Went home, and so I had the surgery in April, and believe it or not, I just had my surgery 2 days ago. So I wanted to make it through the summer. I enjoy being out on my boat. Have a lake house in Sandpoint, Idaho, so we ended up spending a lot of our summer there. So I waited until after summer and thought, I'm gonna go in and get this done, and I'll be ready for bikini weather maybe next summer. So I came back in, flew in on Monday, and a lovely lady by the name of Liz. They contract out, so these people pick you up at the airport, and they're just so gracious and so nice. They drive you over to the hotel, and as I said, the hotel takes you over to the hospital. And then when you're heading back, which is really nice, I'll be heading back tomorrow to the San Diego airport and flying back home tomorrow afternoon. But the nice thing is they have these medical passes. So you go right through the line, you're dropped off right in front, and if you line it up properly with your airline, I mean, I probably don't need a wheelchair, but I'm gonna go ahead. With the security we have, I'm not really in the mood of having them feel me out. I'm a little sore and bruised from the liposuction. But geez, I took off the compression stocking and I'm just like looking. He really pulled in a really nice waistline, and yeah, I cheated a little bit. I said, you know, with that fat you have going there with my belly, why don't we put it into an area of my bottom where it's kind of flattened out through the years. So came out with liposuction and a Brazilian butt lift. So if I wasn't so wrapped up in stocking and gauze right now, I'd give you a little flash of it, but that's about it.